The State Security Agency was used as a political weapon. That's the word from former chairperson of a review panel into the agency, Sydney Mufamadi. He's appearing before the state capture inquiry. He says the panel found there was political meddling in the intelligence community. Barry Bateman following proceedings for us. He joins us now live. So Barry, Sydney Mufamadi spoke about the so-called Special Operations Unit. What exactly is he saying?
Yeah, good afternoon, Shahan. Well, he was talking about a de facto special or parallel intelligence agency within the SSA. That was, there was no accountability with this particular part, and it operated on its own. It was recruiting people from outside of the organization, and that term special operations, he described it as a catch-all phrase or a catch-all to refer to just about anything that was being done by the SSA that was actually outside of its mandate. But on that question of accountability, he had this to say.
There's a sense in which that unit was a law unto itself, that is relative to the management structures of the SSA, because they were not reporting following the reporting line. From what we were told, some of the more senior people than Dlomo, for instance, would say, we were not getting reports from the special operations. We were told that, we report as special operations to the executive, and therefore we can't report to you.
So the Commission was told about some of the operations this unit was involved in, and the former president's name came up.
He certainly did, and we've been learning quite a bit today about why he might not want to come and provide evidence at this commission, Jahan. We're talking about how we had some of these interesting operation names, but in some instances how, and this is alleged, that money was paid monthly starting at about 2.5 million rand that was dispersed from the State Security Agency, given to then Minister David Mahlobo, who would in turn hand this over to former President Jacob Zuma. But we also heard how SSA agents were assigned to be part of his forward teams. Now remember, VIP protection is a functionality and a mandate within the SAPS. Well, here you had special SSA agents who were training overseas, who were providing special services for the former president as well as other politicians. We also heard that there was a team of toxicologists that were hired monthly at a rate of 1.5 million rand to test the former president's food. One of their exploits, we heard, and evidence will be led, that they managed to identify some expired cool drinks in his pantry. But here is Sydney Mufamadi talking about one of the operations which involved the former president.
With Project Commitment, we were told that that project involved providing then President with 2.5 million rand per month.
Then President Zuma.
Yeah, well, you'll see the year per month in the 2015-2016 financial year. That's President Zuma. And this amount was increased to 4.5 million rand per month in the 2016-2017 financial year. And the allegation there, at least to the extent that we were just told this, apparently this money was provided via then Minister Mahlobo.
So Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo was clearly disturbed by some of the evidence that has emerged, and it related to the judiciary.
Indeed, Shahan, and before we get to this bite from Mufamadi, I must emphasize, and this was canvassed by the Commission today, that no evidence was actually presented to support this, but the mere fact that this allegation was made during that high-level panel investigation, it raises serious concerns about their activities and what the Special Operations Unit was getting up to, and it certainly does demand further investigation. But take a listen to this, which had the Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo deeply concerned.
Let's deal with the next project, Project Justice. What was involved here?
Well, this is a project which ostensibly involved recruiting and handling sources in the judiciary in order to influence the outcome of cases against President Zuma.
Right. Now, before you go on, recruiting and handling sources, would this have been payment of monies?
Sorry?
Would this have involved payment of monies?
Well, information provided to the panel indicated that amounts of 1.2 million rand and 4.5 million rand were routinely given from SSA and provided to Minister Mahlobo, whom it is said was responsible for handling these sources.
And these sources were whom? What category of person?
The panel was told that this project was motivated, as I said, by a perceived need to counter the influence of judges hostile to President Zuma. Allegations made were to the effect that judges were bribed to achieve this purpose. This should, however, we thought, be treated with extreme caution, as one would not want to be party to the destruction of public confidence in the judiciary. That's what we thought, and I'll explain what I mean by that, because we were not provided with any actual evidence that the operation was actually carried out to conclusion.